In his new chambers, Evren sat alone, still wearing the black robe left for him. He hadn't touched the fruit, he hadn't touched the wine. He had, however, studied the mirror, its edges, its weight, the screws that held it to the wall. He was already making a map in his mind of this room, of this palace, of every person who entered it. A servant came at noon to deliver more clothing. She didn't speak. Evren didn't look at her. She paused before leaving and whispered, without turning around, "We still remember Varelia." Then she was gone. Evren stared at the door long after it closed. He was not alone here. There were cracks in Kael's empire, and he would find them, widen them, use them. Later that day, the guards returned, no chains this time. They led Evren to a narrow balcony overlooking the gardens. Bright flowers, marble statues, a fountain shaped like a rising bird. And there, waiting beneath the archway, stood Kael. His robe was simpler than before, without guards and crown. Just the Emperor, alone. Evren stepped into the light. His face showed nothing. "You wanted to speak?" he asked. Kael looked at him calmly. "I wanted you to breathe. The air is different here." Evren glanced at the garden. "All I smell is smoke." Kael didn't react. "You'll stay in the eastern wing. You'll have food, books, and time. No guards unless you try to leave." "And the mirror?" Kael nodded. "I thought you might want to remember who you are." Evren met his eyes. "I don't need remembering." Kael studied him for a long second, then said, "Good." He turned and walked away, leaving Evren standing in the sunlight, alone with the fountain and the flowers, and 100 thoughts he would never say aloud. The next evening, 2 guards arrived at Evren's chamber door. He was waiting for them, already dressed in the dark robe Kael had provided. He didn't speak, and neither did they. The eastern wing was quieter than the rest of the palace, less decorated, fewer people. But as they moved toward the main halls, the ceilings grew taller, the walls turned gold. Candles burned in crystal sconces. Statues stood like judges in every corridor, carved from pale stone, each one bearing the face of a Kaelarun emperor. Evren walked past them without flinching. He counted the windows, noted the thickness of each door, measured the speed of the guards at his side. Varelia's palace had once held stained glass and green marble. This one smelled of incense and oil, all shining floors and polished brass. Every surface looked soft, warm, clean. But beneath it all, he could feel the cold. This wasn't luxury. It was armor. And Kael wore it well. They passed a group of servants in red tunics who lowered their heads as Evren walked by. He didn't know if it was respect or fear, maybe both. He looked up at a painted ceiling, Kael's armies, golden and victorious, surrounding a burning city. His city. His hands curled into fists at his sides, but he said nothing. When they reached the edge of the banquet hall, the guard stopped. One opened the door. "You're invited," he said. Evren stepped through without a word.